Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So, Dandavat, dear devotees, and happily with you all. And Gunali Didi, I hope the message, I'm sure the message received you. We had very sweet program of recitation of Bhagavad-Gita, 18th chapter, offering of Mahaprasadam Kirtan for Balavanta Prabhu here in the London temple. Oh, simultaneous translation. I can see Priyanana's lips moving, and although I'm not able to lip read, I see she's doing a perfect job.
Yes, Maharaj, I am just MC today, and I will translate questions if somebody will have Russian or Ukrainian.
All right, so first of all, Jai, wonderful. Translate that. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Jai, wonderful. Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Jai, wonderful. Grand Singha Guru. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Sri Rupanuga Guru Bhaga ki Jai. Vishwareni Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. And all the present day, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. So yes, kindly excuse a little late. All I can say is we overcame the challenge by Krishna's grace. Okay, that's what I can say. Govinda, Govinda. Here I am to serve. And we do have devotees here in the temple room, and they're a little shy. Oh, here's Ashita Krishna from the north of England. He's with me, but we have also devotees here from Mauritius, from Holland, from Bournemouth, another country in south of England, not another country, Bournemouth, a town on the south coast of England. So we are with you all happily in Germany, in Russia, in Italy, in Ukraine, in USA, and around the world. Portugal, so okay, mustn't miss out Portugal. Okay, so here I am to serve. Please ask your questions. If I can, I will answer. If I cannot, then I cannot.
So please, dear devotees. Narayani has a question, okay?
So
the question is something connected about the relatives, about our generations, about like also in Jyotish we hear that we need to honor our parents, our grandparents, and so on. And then Narayani is continuing. But when we come to the Vedic culture, we accept the guru, we receive initiation, and like the center of our honor is our teacher, our guru. So I wanted to know like what our teacher says, like our gurus, about how to honor our relatives, our parents, grandparents who are still alive or who already passed away, about Shraddha, maybe some more rituals in which we can somehow honor them. So some comments about that, please.
So yes, well, we have our immediate examples. That is Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada. And we have, of course, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the head of our Sampradaya. And he's even described as the best son of mothers. In other words, how he honored his mother and honored her wish. So we are in the living Sampradaya. We're living, we're not machines. And devotees have a heart. We are indebted to our mother, to our father. We are indebted to, in fact, so many who've given us our life, our opportunity for this body, but guided us from the beginning of our life to wherever we are at present, wherever we've come to connect with Guru. So we see the responsible activities of the devotees, of the acharyas, those who are teaching by example. And so our responsibility is for giving honor to the seniors. But we are in Krishna consciousness, so it will be appropriate to their position in the world. Of course, if they are a devotee, we've got everything flowing very beautifully. If they're a demon, we will give honor to their, what they've given for us. And, I don't really mean demon in that sense. I don't think any of us have a father like Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad, if you don't know who is Hiranyakashipu, he was daddy to Prahlad Maharaj. But daddy turned out to be, really quite mean and tried, instead of nurturing his son, tried to kill him in many ways. But still, Prahlad Maharaj is wanting the best for his father, and the best happened for his father. So, that's a very extreme example. But my point is, if our parents, you can say, are not favorable in Krishna consciousness, etc., we will give honor to the post of mother, father, everything, honor for what they've done. But it's not that we're going to dedicate our lives to their wish over the wish of our spiritual masters. What our inner heart says, my urgency is Krishna consciousness. After all, in general, our coming in contact, our being a son or a daughter, sister, brother, aunt, nephew, and all, whatever the relationships are, it's likened to wood going down the river, some logs going down the river. They come together for some time and then they separate. So in the life of a devotee, we have some perspective about parents, perspective about also children, our own children, our siblings, etc. But with heart and wanting the best wishes for everyone. And it is natural that we want the best wishes for our relatives, people who not only we know, but we have a bond of affection with from day, how many days? Well, to the mother, day 0. But, to others over the years, we've got a bond of natural affection to our family. And it is natural to want the best for them. So as far as possible, while they are all alive, we try to do the best for them in terms of giving them some opportunity for Krishna consciousness, to know about Krishna, etc., either through something we can just slip in, some good words, some sensible things which they can digest, and also in other ways, like having them honor prasadam, explain how nice this food is, and God made all taste. This is special, sanctified food. Please have a little. And then if they honor like this, then they're on their way, they're getting started. So it's not just to wait until somebody passes away and then think, okay, now I'll do something good for my relative. We should try to do something good continually for everyone. And we can say that naturally, especially for those who are near and dear to us. If we know somebody who is suffering and we have some medicine for their relief, and especially they're a friend, it's a natural thing to help them to get some relief. And the beauty of Krishna consciousness, it's not only relief, it's something very much on the positive side. But every circumstance is different. And if we are actually engaged in actual seva and we are engaged in service, then to leave that service to go to rescue one person or two persons, which in this case we're talking about our family, we can consider especially when it's family, that if we do our service nicely, if we actually become good devotees, that is the best thing we can do for our known family, the ones we know, and we all have unknown family. Means grandfathers, maybe most of us know our grandfathers, but then our great-grandfather, how many know? Great-great-grandfather, and so many like that. So it's told that if you become a pure devotee for 7 generations before and 7 generations later on, they will all get some substantial benefit, maybe liberation, but they're all going to get that benefit. So we will try to be essentially good devotees ourselves, not, you say, traditional formalities and everything. That has its place, but the heart, the conscious decision that we're going to make out this life, I'm going to give this one life for the satisfaction of Krishna and his devotees, because I have this chance. In my last life, I had the opportunity to satisfy my mother and father and relatives. In the life before that, How is it so? Because in every life we get a mother and father and relatives. But it's not that in every life we may get this super chance of the connection of the spiritual mother, father, if you like, the spiritual guardians, the spiritual relatives. So time, place, and circumstance always, but certainly the devotees are compassionate to others. And that means especially compassionate to somebody we know. And we all can easily experience this when somebody we know is suffering. We know in the hospital, there's row after row after row after row after row, floor after floor after floor, hospital after hospital after hospital, full of people who are suffering. And if we know anyone in there, as a person, we're going to go and visit them and try to help them, try to give them some relief. So it's natural to give particular attention to one's relatives. It is a normal thing. And we see Gurudev was not heartless. Guru Maharaj not heartless. Srila Prabhupada not heartless. Opposite, they're heartful. So we know that at this time, our devotee, like good example devotees who are mother, father, husband to some, father to some, son to some, brother to some. Everybody has these different relationships, rasas, mellows, but they have their different relationships in this world. And so when somebody we know is passing away and has passed away, then it is a big reminder to us of our responsibility ourselves to be good devotees. And how can we help others if we are not on firm ground? So we have to hold on tightly to those who are on firm ground and extend the other hand down to help those who we come in contact with, those who Krishna sends along, which begins almost, you can say, with our family. And especially the parents, the older generations, we see always that custom to give honor to them. They may not be necessarily, the most honorable person, but by giving honor to the post, and we should be doing that. Like the uniform and the man. In the army, you're giving honor to the uniform. And later on, you may find that officer, you're a cadet and you come and you may find another officer, he's not really such a good person, but you're definitely going to get chastised if you don't give that honor to the officer. So, in the material world, there are customs and traditions which we should try to maintain, but our focus is on the spiritual traditions and customs, or the spiritual substance which is coming through Guru and Vaishnava and scripture. That answer was too long, wasn't it? We're meant to have questions and answers.
No, Gurudev.
Sorry, Priyanana Didi, I shall try to speak slower so you can translate each word. Please excuse, I know it's difficult to translate. There is silence. Any hands from anybody?
Thank you, Maharaj. Yes, please, devotees, if you have questions, thank you, Narayani, for your question. Maybe somebody else, please ask Ukrainian, Russian, type in the text box, anything. Use this opportunity to ask Maharaj.
I am told this is the questions and answers time. And devotees are always asking me questions. At 11 o'clock at night, they're asking me questions. So here we are. It's not, oh, it's 11 o'clock. It's 10:30 in the day. This is a good time to ask a question.
We have extra questions from secret devotee, and she used the verse from Bhagavad-Gita, which I can read, and then the question. It's chapter 2, verse 59. Though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for sense objects remains. But casing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. And the question is, when usually does it happen?
Aha. Well, what about now? If we can fully surrender now and really make our consciousness at the feet of the Lord, then we can consider that all the other things will be suddenly put into perspective. Everything non-Krishna will suddenly become clear, and we won't want that. And everything Krishna, everything surrendered in the surrendered to the upper world section, that will be attractive to us. And the mundane things will be unattractive to us. So a moment is sufficient. And there is one king in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Any of our pandits here remember the name of the king? Begins with a K. Those of you who are quickly looking it up on the Veda base. Kartavya, maybe, I can't remember. One king, suddenly in a moment, he understood his death was coming, and he, at that time, suddenly realized only thing is to surrender. And he achieved that goal. So immediately he was cleansed, purified of all, nothing mundane came in, only surrender. But we are warning on the package. Don't wait until that last breath before you try to surrender. Because unfortunately, what we cultivate in this lifetime flavors our consciousness, and at our last breath, what will we be thinking of will be generally flavored by what we've been cultivating in our life. So, cultivate what? Krishna consciousness. But Sharanagati, which is the whole essence, surrender, the Sharanagati, this we can, if we really can do it, we can do it in a moment, or it may take lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, especially if we don't take seriously to do what has been guided to us by our masters. And our masters means, in particular, Mahaprabhu and his Sampradaya. When we read Bhagavatam, we can see many things which are, you can say, impossible for us to do. Even if we want to be a good demon, many things which are impossible for us to do. To stand on one leg for, it was a long time. But we can't do that except some of you smart yoga students who can maybe do it for 2 minutes. I don't know how long you can stand on your tiptoes. But Hiranyakashipu did it for donkey's years, did it for a long time. But there are so many instances in Bhagavatam which they're wonderful to read, but impossible for us to do. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave us practical Krishna consciousness, practical path of surrender, and the practical journey home to Vrindavan, not just liberation, not just Vaikuntha, but Vrindavan. And really, the more we read exclusively Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada, the more surely little drops might enter into our consciousness, whether that's our brain or our heart, that this really is a very rare path to come in touch with. And we should take this opportunity and not waste it. So again, we mentioned just before, every birth we get a mother and father and relatives. Not every birth we can think we can get this kind of opportunity. And we have been reading some very encouraging expressions from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur with his appearance just now about serving, surrender, and how all the other things will leave us if we do it. And I mean, I don't have the book in front of me, but one very encouraging expression, and we know that he's very strong guru, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We've all, I hope, been reading about him, hearing about him from Gurudev, from Guru Maharaj, from the scripture. And one encouraging expression was, the devotional service is very easy. It's our natural constitution. But service to Maya is very difficult and painful. So we just have to change that switch. We've got to change the switch from this, from refrigerator to oven or something like that. That's a very bad example. Krishna and Mahaprabhu have much better examples, no doubt. But anyway, we just have to change a switch. Or if any of you know about vehicles, if you have a truck with a winch, the engine, you can put the power of the engine to the wheels, or you can put it to the winch. You have to just change that gear in the gearbox. So we just have to do like that and winch ourselves. No, that's also a bad example. But to put our energy to devotion instead of exploitation. And then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, it's saying it's very easy and joyful. That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Easy and joyful. Whereas the material world is hard work and suffering. How foolish we were to make that wrong decision somewhere in the past that brought us into this world to labor, to live. So by surrender, by changing that attitude that we have inside, all about consciousness, changing our attitude, not so much what we do, but in what consciousness we're doing it, then quickly all unwanted things, they will all go away and we'll find, oh yes, we're in the plane of service, of joy, of getting reciprocation from the Lord and the pure souls instead of getting reciprocation from the material world.
Thank you. I think I had this also from the same devotee, also question about Bhagavad-Gita verse, but I think you answered both this question. So if anybody have desire to ask, please.
Hare Krishna. Gives me a chance to see everybody, see our family. We're all here together. Govinda.
Okay, we have practical question from Rasananda Prabhu from Moscow. If it's very, very cold outside, like freezing, can he chant the japa using the gloves for hands?
The answer is, I do, but some of the devotees here know, because we've been outside walking and chanting japa. I have finally, after trying different things, yes, Rasananda Prabhu, Dandavat, after trying different things, which includes one sweet devotee, they made a one-finger mitten like that, because really your finger feels like it's going to drop off of ice. But finally, I found that to have gloves, normal gloves, and I've cut off this finger of the glove and this thumb of the glove, so I can chant, and then the rest goes inside the bead bag. But it is my japa glove, so we try to keep it clean, so because your hand is going in the bead bag. Otherwise, not only does it get cold in Moscow, but we were in Switzerland, where I was thinking of you all in Russia. It was -9 was high and -22 was low. So it's getting a little close to Russian weather there. So there's some practical thing, but it's not a rule. It's just our experience. But to be practical.
Thank you, Gurudev. I know you're best in practical questions. So if you devotees have some more questions like that, also please ask. Because our lectures are called like that devotees are sharing their experience. And Maharaj have a lot of experience.
With myself and with others too. It's good to learn from others' experience. Both about good things and bad things. Sometimes, we see others and see how, they are really being successful in something. And sometimes we see others and getting also like chastised by Guru Maharaj or chastised by Gurudev. And really, I've been there, and I've sometimes thought that could easily have been me who said that. And so we see that and we learn, okay, not to do this, but to do this. So, we really can learn from others. It's not that, oh, yes, I know everything. And we're always learning.
Thank you. And we have another question from Gunali Didi. And she's asking, that she's giving dandavats to you, Maharaj, and asking, please, if you can say where the jiva soul is going after the death of the devotee who was actively practicing Krishna consciousness. If you know, can you explain? And was sometime like in your life that you met somebody and you have feeling that you know this jiva soul already from previous life? Had you such a feeling? These two questions.
Okay, so the answer to the first question, if we're wanting short answers, is, so where does the jiva soul go who is actively engaged in spiritual life? 2 words, somewhere, yeah, that's 1 word, somewhere good. And about, have we met somebody who we think we've met before? In 1 word, I can answer that, yes. But to be a little bit more, elaborate, we can say again, Srila Gurudev's example about devotees who pass away, because it did come to Gurudev, right? Again and again. Somebody's disappeared, and then devotees want to know, Gurudev, where will they be now? So this kind of question came to Gurudev, like in particular cases, and sometimes maybe like this in a general way, or what happens, in general in such a way. And Srila Gurudev, in some particular cases, he did say like a specific answer, but it was rare. In general, he gave the understanding that we cannot say exactly where that soul has gone, because we don't know what was coming to take its demand first: the good, the bad, the ugly. So sometimes, as Guru Maharaj said in some cases, that there is some unavoidable karma that has to be gone through, because we saw sometimes some unfortunate things with devotees who had been in good standing, etc. And Guru Maharaj saying some unavoidable karma has come to catch them. And that's in a lifetime that we can see the lifetime of a person. And the person is still alive when they leave their body, ABC of Hare Krishna consciousness. The person is still alive when they leave their body. It's just the body is not alive. So similarly, we cannot say exactly in general what is going to catch that devotee, that particular soul first. But if they are practicing devotional service, they've been chanting the holy name, so many things, they are on their way. But to say precisely where they've gone, then Gurudev generally would avoid that and not give a specific answer. But we do have some specific answers. Hare Krishna, where devotees have passed away, and Gurudev been very clear. They were offenseless, faithful, and there is nothing we can do for them after they passed away. When a devotee wanted to make a Shraddha ceremony, a remembrance festival for the benefit of the soul, devotee, I'm there asking the devotee asking to Gurudev for this particular devotee. Oh, Gurudev, such and such is going to be, the 10 days after the traditional day to do something for the benefit of the soul. Shall we do something here? And Gurudev strongly said to him, what benefit can you do for him? He can give benefit to us. And this is a devotee who came from the West, and he passed away in Navadvip. And really, he was a sweet devotee. And it was the first time he'd come to Navadvip. And he came very nourished to be in the Dham and to be with Gurudev and to be with the devotees. He didn't want to cause any difficulty to the devotees. He got sick. And first of all, anyway, hour by hour, day by day, we were with him. Anyway, to make a long story short, then he passed away quite suddenly. And he was walking the day before. I was talking with him the day before. Next morning, he left his body in the Dham. And Gurudev, for him, he told that he's come to the Dham. He was faithful and offenseless. What can we do for? You think you can do something for him. You cannot do something for him. He can do something for us. So, wonderful things like that. And that also gives us much hope. If we can be faithful and offenseless, then we have some, very good hope. Hare Krishna. But we will follow the traditions again. And following the tradition means that we may not be able to do benefit for the soul who has passed away. Like in this case, the soul can do benefit for us. But it's an opportunity to glorify the Vaishnavas and to do Vaishnava Seva. And so in the case of Srila Guru Maharaj, obviously, we can't do something for Guru Maharaj. But Gurudev, he's discussing when Srila Guru Maharaj passed away, disappeared, then step by step, then Srila Gurudev is discussing, what shall we do? And we are there together with him. He's thinking, what will we do? He said, we will follow the tradition of 10 days after to have a festival in Guru Maharaj's name. But it is, but he didn't say this, obviously. He said it's not for Guru Maharaj's benefit. It's for our benefit to glorify him and give honor to him and Vaishnava Seva. In his name, it's for us to honor and give glorification. So this way, again, tradition has its place, but the way we look at the activity is important. And about, have we met somebody that we felt like we've met before? Oh, yes. I mean, really, I think everybody must have some kind of feeling like that. And it may well be, but who can say? And if some, actual capable astrologer comes and tells us, oh, this person was your brother in your last life or your father. Okay, wonderful, very interesting. But what difference does it make now? Where we are now, let's get our head into Krishna consciousness and not to try to, revive my family consciousness from my last life and keep that going even longer. And if he was your brother or your sister or your daughter or your mother, father, or anything, then, that in that life you are attached or they were attached and somehow or another they've come to be again. But we're trying to make our attachment, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, that we need to transfer our attachment to the mundane side, the material world side. We need to, all that attraction that we have for all of these things, we should transfer that to Krishna and to his devotees. So wherever we are on the map, however we got there, that's not really so important. Where we are, where we are to go and how to get from here to there is important. Yesterday we are in London, and I don't know the buses and trains very much, but wherever we are, we log back in and find out, from here, which bus are we going to take and how are we going to get there? So the app isn't asking me, where have you come from? Here you are, and now you need to find here's how to get to your destination. So we need that Krishna conscious app to take us to our destination. And we have it in the living teachings of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada, the living teachings of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, which are being distributed by them, protected, distributed, and expanded, illuminated by them. So we've got so much guidance. Read our books. Every page, practically, there's something which is guiding us. It's not for our entertainment. It's for our learning about our home and learning about the conduct of devotees, how to change our consciousness.
Thank you, Maharaj, for answer. Dear devotees, we still have time. Please don't be shy.
You have a little time, because actually, sorry, I was late due to technical reasons beyond our control, but I have to leave within a few minutes because we actually have another regular Saturday Zoom which I need to attend, so I can't go to the top of the hour.
Okay.
So quick question.
Ну, якщо ніхто не хоче, тоді я.
This is verse 22 from chapter 4. He who is satisfied with the gain which comes of its own accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled, although performing actions. And Narayani is asking, like, it's said that the result is coming not with hard action, but as we see, everything we attain is with hard action. For example, even to keep the temple going on, for example, Villa Govinda, like it takes a lot of efforts of a lot of devotees to keep it going. Like question like that, some comment on that, please.
Yes, so I think this is more to do with our material world. We always want to be successful in the service of our masters. It's not that our guru or the Vaishnavas ask us to do something and then we couldn't do it. And, oh, well, it doesn't matter if I succeed or not. But in the material world, whatever comes according to my karma, where, the success or the dualities, all these things, then this is guidance for us in relation to the world in general. But I mean, just briefly, because I really do have to go. But Gurudev, he did not like the word sorry. If he's given a service to somebody, he wants it done. And so we do try for success. Anyway, I'm going to have to leave you because I do have to go right now. So please excuse me. My obeisances to you all. Dandavat pranam. I do. Please excuse me.
No, we will run to another Zoom. Don't.
Dandavat. Jai Nitai, Jai Nitai. Ami Ashchi.
Dandavat, Gurudev. Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai. So thank you for those who were active and asking questions, and for those who were just listening. Your time is very precious, and your attendance also for us. It gives us desire to continue this seva, and thank you, Narayani, for always organizing this Zooms, and Priyanana Didi, not only for translation, but for secret questions and quickly searching through web. I'm not good on that. Happy to see everybody, even from Thailand, USA, maybe India, I don't know. And thank you all who showed faces. It's also happiness to see not only names, but also your faces. Dear family, Dandavat Pranam. До нових зустрічей.